Center for Culture and Development on a very sensitive, old, and nowadays very controversial topic of Uniform Civil Code. This is my first visit to this institute, and I hope it will not be the last. I would like to continue to be with you in future also, because as I said in the very beginning, that in our country, unfortunately, we do not want to even debate the issues. We do not want to even to certain states about that. You may have any view. You are free to have that. Our constitution ensures us. So therefore, the point which I am making in the very beginning is that continue with this exercise, irrespective of the fact that people will start even attributing motives to you also, that why I am doing it, you are doing it, this purpose and all that. India is a mature democracy. Our constitution was adopted 68 years and 26 days back on 26th of November 1949. Many amendments have been made to the constitution. Many amendments are still in the pipeline. Many acts have been enacted. But unfortunately, the mandate of Article 44 of the Constitution of India, the second submission which I am making, has not got the attention and the attraction of the successive governments that it deserved. In the entire Constitution, this may be the smallest article, just one sentence. Just one sentence. It doesn't contain even two sentences. Article 44, though it's a part of the directive principles of state policy, somebody can say that it's not enforceable by law. But just one line. And the line says that the state shall endeavor to secure for the citizens a uniform civil code throughout the territory of India. 3-4 things are very important. The word used is endeavor. The constitution makers were very wise people. They could have said that the state will try to achieve. They could have said that the state will strive for this. But they have used the word endeavor. And endeavor word is always used when there is something in the positive sense. I am endeavoring to do this thing, I am endeavoring to achieve that part. I am not a student of English language, but the meaning that we understand. I am saying this because once you have to analyze a particular clause, you have to also appreciate the background in which this act has been enacted, this clause has been enacted. As a student of law, as an advocate, somebody comes to me with a particular case. Suppose somebody has been murdered. Suppose some fight has taken place. I want to know that why it has happened. Why this has happened. What was the intention? What was the intention behind it? So once you analyze Article 44, forget about all other things which I come little later. What was the intention of the constitution makers? Why have they inserted this clause, this article 44? If you just start from the preamble of the Constitution of India, this also uses 7-8 words on which you can have separate days together, seminar, discussion and debates. The concept of equality, the equal performance. But I will just read 1 or 2 lines. We the people of India, not the topic of today, because we can discuss what we mean by the we the people of India. Somebody put a question in the morning also. Equality, the justice, social, economic and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship. I don't think any liberty which is otherwise visualized has not been used the word in this way. Equality of status and opportunity. It doesn't talk of opportunity only. The status, the dignity, as well as the opportunity. And next line is important. And to promote among them all fraternity, the word that our lawyer used this morning, assuring the dignity of the individual. Not of a Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Sikh, individual. Individual means the individual, every individual of the country of 125 crores and the unity and integrity of the nation. Word is nation, not of the state also. I have not to explain the difference between the state and the nation. That is not the issue of discussion today. The point which I am driving is that the total political, economic, social situation of the country was at the back of the mind of the constitutional framers. Somebody said this may be UCC, may be BJP agenda. And it's a fact that at that time even the Jansan was not formed. Jansan was formed in 1952. This was all the people belonging to different religions, very wise people, very intellectual people. They may, some of them might have later on gone to Congress, some might have not gone to other political parties. Very wise people. And not only this, I will just take you to 3-4 more articles also. Just to tell you, just to stress the point, that it's not that they have used this word very casually. Somebody suggested Article 35 was the original draft and say, all right, include this also. Unity of individual, dignity of individual, unity and integrity of the nation and the country and the state, that was the. Now you are, I'm sorry, I use the word your lordship, that we use word in the court and the army case. Article 14. Article 14. Fundamental rights, equality of law, I will not read that. 15. Prohibition of discrimination on ground of, once again, in the preamble also, Article 15 also, on the ground of religion, race, caste, sex or place of worship. So, never they wondered that if we informed the UCC, Uniform Civil Code, the intention was that no, take away this right of this minority community or that community. If that was in their mind, then they could have done many violence to other clauses also. Article 17, abolition of untouchability. Is it a fundamental right? The only article among the fundamental rights, Article 17, abolition of fundamental right, the untouchability, in no terms can be called a fundamental right. But it was in their mind, they knew the status of the Indian society. They knew the situation prevalent there. Therefore, the abolition of untouchability is included Article 17, which is in the chapter of the fundamental rights. I fail to understand what was the logic, but the only thing I put a question to myself and the reply that I can get is this, that the intention was we want to have a society where people are more concerned about the unity and integrity of the country, ensuring the dignity of the individual also, because untouchability basically attacks at the dignity of the individual, it's a slavery, all those things. And at the same time, giving a signal that if we talk of UCC, untouchability was never among the Muslims, untouchability was never among the Christians, untouchability was only evil which was prevailing among the Hindus. So it is abolished not by Hindu Secession Act or by any other act, it is by Article 17 of the Constitution. People have different ways, it was in their mind. Now, different religions, Hindu, ordinarily we call Hindu, Muslim and Sikh or Christian, ordinarily we talk, sometimes we take it to Parsi and Arya Samaji and my community Jain also. But the Hindu, Christian, Sikh, Muslim, Jain, Parsi, and sometimes Arya Samaji also, Article 30, 25 uses that. Now sir, is there, even among the Hindus, forget about Muslims and Christians, can we say there is only one God? Can we say there is only one system? A person who believes in God is also Hindu. A person who doesn't believe in God, he is also Hindu. A person says, I treat Shiva as a God, all right. Let for you should believe in God. Somebody says, I treat Ram as a God, all right, no problem. Let Ram be your God. Somebody says, I want to worship the idol. मूर्ति पूजा करना चाहता हूँ, करिए, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. कोई कहता है कि मैं मूर्ति पूजा नहीं करना चाहता, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं, बात करिए. आप क्रिश्चियंस में, जो लोग क्रिश्चियंस में सब लॉर्ड जीसस क्राइस्ट को गॉड मानते हैं, आगे चल के फ्रेगमेंटेशन हुई है, कोई कैथोलिक है, कोई कुछ है. मुसलमानों में अल्लाह को लेकर कोई डिस्प्यूट नहीं है, लेकिन आगे चल के शिया सुन्नी उनकी आगे कास्ट सिस्टम सारी चीजों में आ गई. अभी सुबह सिखों का जिक्र हो रहा था, प्रोफेसर हम पूछ रहे थे कि सिख रिलीजन की फॉर्मेशन किसने की थी, किसने बनाया. गुरु गोविंद सिंह was the last 10th Sikh Guru. He said, now after me, Guru Granth Sahib will be the Guru. There will be no living Guru. But Nirankaris deviated from them. They said, no, there can't be a Guru who is not a living. So therefore we adopt our own line. So living will be the Guru. So Sant Nirankari, Baba Hardeep Singh or whatever it is, they are living the Guru. Both are Sikhs, both worship Guru Granth Sahib. But their God is different. Now it was perhaps in the mind of the constitution makers also. When you are elected to Lok Sabha, Vidhan Sabha, you are appointed a judge, you are appointed elected president, vice president, whatever it is. You take oath. And it's not that oath is typed by some steno and just you go and take the oath. This oath is prescribed in Schedule 3 of the Constitution of India. 3 of the Constitution of India. The oath is prescribed for everybody. The governor also, the minister also, the judge also. And there you take oath. You may be a Muslim, you may be a Sikh, you may be a Hindu, you may be Arya Samaji, Jaini, Sanatan Dharmi, Vapari, whatever it is, in the name of either God or you solemnly go. Try to appreciate the point which I am making. Uniformity is there. You take oath in the name of God. It is up to you which God do you believe. So your personal right of believing in a particular God is not taken away. Still we have uniformity, everybody takes oath in the name of God. What is the problem? Can you take, I am taking the right of a Muslim. In certain Muslim countries, you know, in Pakistan also they take oath in the name of Allah. And when they start the, kindly hear the speech of President of Bangladesh, Prime Minister of Pakistan, Bangladesh or Muslim countries. They start with, in the name of Allah who is most merciful and all that. So our people knew that we are having different religions. Still the oath that you take, till date, all the religions, we have a Sikh as the President of India, we had the Muslim President of India, we had the Scheduled Caste also President of India, Prime Minister, Chief Justice from all religions, from all communities. All communities we had. India is the only country, secular country, where you have the President of almost all the religions, all the communities. May not be all. There may not be any Christian President or Prime Minister as yet, but with the passage of time, they might also come. India is secular by blood. I am really surprised when some people talk of secular. When this word secular was added in the Indian Constitution in 1975 during emergency. Before that it was not there. So were we not secular before that? You see the entire history. Others might have invaded on us. They might have attacked on us. No Indian king, maybe Buddha, maybe Mahavir, maybe Guru Gobind Singh. I come from Punjab, where every day there were attacks by the foreign invaders. एक पंजाब यहाँ चुगला मजाक में चलता है सिखों के 12 बजे मजाक करते हैं लोग कई बार आपको पता है इसकी इंपॉर्टेंस क्या है क्योंकि मुसलमानों के इन्वेडर्स के मुसलमानी के इन्वेडर्स के हमले होते थे और सिख जो हम बॉर्डर पे थे वो लड़ते थे तो इसलिए गुरुओं ने उनको ये कहा कि जितने अच्छे काम हैं वो जल्दी से जल्दी कर लो बच्चे का जन्मदिन है शादी है वो सब 12 बजे से पहले होते हैं ताकि अगर हम पे हमला हो जाए तो हम कम से कम उसको काउंटर करने में हमें टाइम लगेगा और जितने दुख के हैं किसी की मौत होगी किसी का कोई अफसोस है कुछ हो रहा है तो वो 12 बजे के बाद आप कर सकते ये मजाक बन के वहां चला मैं इसलिए आपको बता दे रहा हूं आज जब हम सेकुलरिज्म के नाम पर इस लॉज को अपोज करने की कोशिश करते हैं इट इंटरफेयर्स विद द सेकुलर क्रेडेंशियल्स ऑफ द कंट्री इट्स विद द कॉमन अप्रोच आई थिंक दिस इज टेकिंग द केस टू फॉर nobody can convert India into a theocratic state 47 we got partition India became a secular state Pakistan became a theocratic state I remember Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee had gone to UNO when Narasimha Rao was the Prime Minister. Pakistan had moved a resolution in UN General Assembly condemning India for certain reasons, Kashmir, Srinagar, etc., etc., etc. Narasimha Rao sent Mr. Vajpayee. Narasimha Rao, hardcore Congress. Vajpayee, hardcore BJP and RSS. Still he sent him. And when Vajpayee came back, then Vajpayee said that ultimately when we were able to convince the world fraternity that please don't go ahead with this resolution. And when we told them that the Muslim population in my country is the highest in the entire world. No Muslim country has as much Muslims as we are having in India. And except some of one or two problems here and there that happens with the Shia and Sunni Muslims also. It sometimes happens with the two sections of the Christians also. Arya Samaji, Sikhs also somewhere. Sant Rampal, Sant Ram Rahim, etc., etc., among the Hindus also. So we have ensuring the safety of, at that time it was perhaps 12 crore Muslims at that time when we had gone there. And the whole world believed it. So the third submission which I am making is this. When we analyze a particular clause, kindly try to understand, kindly try to appreciate the intention. I totally agree with Professor Prajapati and 2-3 people who addressed in the morning, there is a question. That now time has come when we move a step further. Let's have the basic structure also. I will use that word, the sketch as to what do you mean by the uniform civil code. What changes you are going to make, what rights you are going to make. I like to clarify one thing more also. As I understand it, Uniform Civil Code doesn't want to take away any personal right of any person of any community or religion. You want to believe in God, believe it. You want to marry your daughter as per nikah, do it. You are a Sikh, marry your daughter as per the rights around Guru Granth Sahib, do it. You are a Arya Samaji, go to Arya Samaj Mandir, perform Bhavan, no problem. Under the guise of religious rights, try to appreciate that. Under the guise of religious rights, when you take away the right of some people of your own community, your own religion, and this taking away is in conflict with the provision of the Constitution of India, will you tolerate that? You marry according to Muslim right, no problem. You marry to Hindu right, no problem. But if you say that after marriage I have a right to divorce my wife one fine morning by saying talaq, 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 you are not taking away the right of a Hindu community member or Hindu man or woman. And when we say no, this talaq, Uniform Civil Code says no. Everybody in the country, maybe Hindu, maybe Sikh, you will not have more than one living spouse. It will be applicable to all. Is it confined only to Muslims? Perhaps Dr. Chauhan mentioned last evening. In many areas, even among the Hindus, polygamy is there. Even northeast, in my own neighboring state, Himachal Pradesh, upper areas of Himachal Pradesh, go still this polygamy. Draupadi had 5 husbands, and now husband has 5 wives, still prevalent there. So if the Uniform Civil Code comes, तो आपको क्या लगता है कि सिर्फ मुसलमान का राइट लिया जाएगा कि कोई इससे ज्यादा वाइफ नहीं रख सकता? हिंदुओं को अलाउड होगा या राजा को अलाउड नहीं होगा? सबके लिए कानून बनेगा कि भाई आप एक से ज्यादा लिविंग स्पाउस नहीं रख सकते. आप पॉपुलेशन कंट्रोल करना चाहते हैं, आपको कानून में लाना पड़ेगा कि आप एट ए टाइम, हरियाणा के अंदर कानून आए, बहुत सारी स्टेट्स में कानून आ गए, अगर आपके 2 से ज्यादा बच्चे हैं और जिसको सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने अफोर्ड किया तो आपको इलेक्शन नहीं लड़ सकते, ना पंचायत का लड़ सकते हैं, ना जिला परिषद का लड़ सकते हैं. तो सबके भी लागू होगा. और वो डेट देते हैं ताकि अगर उससे पहले हैं तो वो सेव हो जाए, और अगर इस दौरान भी कोई पाइपलाइन में है तो 1 साल की डेट बाद की देते हैं ताकि वो भी सेव हो जाए. कल को कोई ये ना कहे कि आप मेरे को मेरा राइट ले लिए. वो करके हुआ कई स्टेट्स में हो गया, आपको ध्यान में होगा. अगर आपको नहीं है तो आप स्टडी करिए, वो लॉ आ गया. तो क्या वो सिर्फ मुसलमानों पे लागू है? क्या वो सिर्फ हिंदुओं को कहता कि आप जितने मर्जी बच्चे कर? ये जो एक अटेम्प्ट अब आने लगा है, जिसकी तरफ मैं आपका ध्यान लाना चाहता हूं कि आप पर्सनल राइट की आड़ में अपनी ही कम्युनिटी के लोगों के साथ, अपनी ही वुमेन के साथ, अपने ही बच्चों के साथ, अपने ही लोगों के साथ जाति करिए. और अगर कानून उसमें इंटरफेयर करने लगता है तो आप उसको कहिए कि मेरे तो पर्सनल राइट्स में इंटरफेयर है. आपकी गीता, महाभारत, रामायण, गुरु ग्रंथ साहब, बाइबल, कुरान पढ़ने में अगर कोई अड़चन पैदा करे, इट्स द वायलेशन ऑफ हिज फंडामेंटल राइट. मैं जैन कम्युनिटी से हूँ, हिंदू से हूँ. खरड़ से मैंने क्रिश्चियन हाई स्कूल से मैंने अपनी मैट्रिकुलेशन की. और हमारे यहाँ उन दिनों मुझे पता नहीं आप क्रिश्चियन स्कूल में वो whether that practice is still there or not. When I was in 6th class, the Christian missionaries used to send some short book and then with certain questions also, just to encourage people to study Christianity. I remember we used to get the book, sign it, fill it, and till by 10th of class, when I was in 10th, I did my 10th from there. And the first election that I contested in my life was as a president of that Christian high school, from where I learned politics. By 10th, I had studied the entire Bible, and they sent a Bible as gift to me. The only difference is that, so whereas the Sikhs are concerned, when they send their holy book, they send in a different form, because they believe it to be a God. Ramayana, Gita, Bible, Quran, etc. It's not there. I have studied Quran also as much as I could understand. I can speak in Urdu, I can talk in Urdu, because it's our language. Unfortunately, the moment something comes, we start ascribing it to religion. That no, ये हिंदू है तो ये हिंदी में ही बोलेगा, ये मुसलमान है तो ये उर्दू में ही बोलेगा, ये सरदार है तो सिख में ही बोलेगा. अगर ये दूसरी भाषा में बोलता तो लोग शक करते. मैं 98 में एक पार्लियामेंट्री डेलीगेशन में कश्मीर गया. उस समय फारूक अब्दुल्ला चीफ मिनिस्टर थे. तो मैंने जब उर्दू में उनसे खिताब करना शुरू किया, मैंने उर्दू पढ़ा है, मैं उर्दू बोल सकता हूँ. तो शेख फारूक अब्दुल्ला उससे पूछते हैं कि कौन है. उन्होंने कहा ये चंडीगढ़ का एमपी. बोला किस पार्टी? बोला बीजेपी. बीजेपी का एमपी उर्दू बोलता है? तो उन्होंने कहा सर इसने पढ़ा है उर्दू. पुरानी जनरेशन हमारे एरिया में, मुझे आपका पता नहीं, हमारे पंजाब हरियाणा में तो उर्दू ही होता था. मेरे पिता चिट्ठी उर्दू में लिखते थे ऐसे टुक टक करके, तो मैं बड़े ध्यान से देखता था. The point which I am making is this, that let's confine, let's analyze the intention behind it, Let's understand the contents of it, which as yet are not available before us, and the implications. Sir, if UCC says that you can't perform namaz, forget about the UCC. It will be in violation of Article 14. It will be in violation of Article 16. Can any parliament do it? Some people, unfortunately, because of their political interest, are spreading rumors which have no basis at all. मैं चाहता था कल हमारे जो इसके खिलाफ बोलने वाले खासतौर पर मुस्लिम रिप्रेजेंटेटिव थे, वो आते उनके सामने में बात करता, सुनता उनकी बात. यूनिफॉर्म सीपीसी है, यूनिफॉर्म सीआरपीसी है, यूनिफॉर्म आईपीसी है, यूनिफॉर्म ओथ है, यूनिफॉर्म फंडामेंटल राइट्स हैं, यूनिफॉर्म फंडामेंटल ड्यूटीज हैं, यूनिफॉर्म कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन है, यूनिफॉर्म ट्रैफिक राइट्स हैं, यूनिफॉर्म आपके जुडिशियल राइट्स हैं, यूनिफॉर्म आर्टिकल 226 के राइट्स हैं, यूनिफॉर्म आर्टिकल 32 के एसएलपी के राइट्स हैं. तो इस मामले में अगर यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड आता तो ये कौन सा ऐसा आपको जो डैमेज होने लगा हमारी समझ में नहीं आता. प्रोफेसर पटेल चुके उन्होंने बोला कि व्हाट इज द हार्म, व्हाट इज द नीड. सर ये तो आर्गुमेंट किसी के बारे में भी दिया जा सकता है. तो हिंदू मैरिज एक्ट की क्या जरूरत है, फिर मुस्लिम मैरिज एक्ट की क्या जरूरत है, क्या नुकसान हो जाएगा. जब ये एक्ट नहीं आए थे तभी तो देश चल रहा था. हमने इंडिपेंडेंस लिया तो उसके पहले देश नहीं चल रहा था. 1949 में कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन आया तो उससे पहले क्या वो नहीं चल रहा था. ये क्या आर्गुमेंट है. और दूसरी बात कल कहा गया कि इंप्लीमेंटेशन कैसे होगी. वेरी सरप्राइजिंग, आई एम वेरी सरप्राइज. लॉ आएगा, इसकी लोग फॉलो नहीं करेंगे. आज के लोग सारे लॉ को फॉलो कर रहे हैं. आईपीसी में कत्ल करना गुनाह है, लेकिन रोज आप पढ़ते हो मर्डर भी हो रहे. चोरी करना गुनाह है, लोग चोरी भी कर रहे हैं. लोकसभा इलेक्शन में, विधानसभा इलेक्शन में इलेक्टोरल प्रोसेस में लिखा है कि ये करप्ट प्रैक्टिस आप नहीं करते. हिंदुस्तान एक ऐसा मुल्क है जिसकी प्राइम मिनिस्टर का इलेक्शन, श्रीमती इंदिरा गांधी का इलेक्शन 1975 में इलाहाबाद के हाईकोर्ट के जज ने इसी ग्राउंड पर सेट असाइड किया था कि यू हैव कमिटेड corrupt practices which is prohibited by the law. Simply because some people are violating law doesn't mean that you repeal the law. And if you go by that argument, get the data from the courts, high courts and civil courts, you might have to repeal IPC also, you might have to repeal even the CRPC also, you might have to repeal many things also. If the constitution has not gone to the masses, this argument was also given in the morning, that no, people are not even aware of it. That's our fault. And with all respect I am saying, without meaning any ill will to somebody, sir, teachers, advocates, judges who are practicing law daily in the courts, sometimes even we are not clear about a particular clause. And I give you a recent example. In the morning, a issue arose whether Article 44 says common civil code or uniform civil code.
Uniform.
No, I'm giving an example. It took 10 minutes to clarify that no, it's not common, it is uniform. So, who doesn't know the law? Why are you blaming the common man? This is the topic of discussion for the last 2 days, and the honorable speaker was so aggressively, so vociferously was speaking on that issue. And the question came, we have to check the book as to whether it is the uniform or it is the common. So does it mean that we may not know the law? No problem. But we always take the shelter behind the common man doesn't know. Common man knows it. You will never find a common man walking on the road on the right side. He will always be on the left. If somebody is on the right side, it will be either an advocate or a doctor or a educated man who starts late from the house, has to reach his court or office early in the morning, who will see left and right कि कोई vehicle आ तो नहीं रहा, अगर नहीं आ रहा तो wrong side से कट करके निकाल के ले जाएगा. Maybe in the meantime he may meet with the next side. You call Arjun that fellow Gopinath Munde from Maharashtra who died in a road accident. वो सुबह घर से निकले, ड्राइवर लेट हो गया, और जब वो लेट हो गया तो एयरपोर्ट जाना था उन्होंने. वो मोबाइल पे बात कर रहे थे. ड्राइवर ने देखा कि रेड लाइट है, लेकिन लेट हो गया था. मैंने कहा ना कि वायलेट हमेशा बड़ा आदमी करता है, छोटा आदमी तो डर के खड़ा रहेगा. वो तो ग्रीन लाइट आई कभी नहीं जाएगा, कभी देखेगा. उन्होंने जल्दी से निकालने की कोशिश की, और जब जल्दी से निकालने की कोशिश की, बाई चांस उधर से भी कोई पुलिस जल्दी से आ रहा, वो राइट था या रॉन्ग थे. आई एम सेइंग दैट दीज आर द excuses, not reasons. There is a difference between a reason and an excuse. There is a reason. You may say that I have an apprehension. I want to understand. One can understand that. But these all things which have been said, I am of the view that doesn't hold. Now the problems are the problems confined only to the Muslims? आज फैमिली लॉ ब्रेक कर रहा है. मैं एडवोकेट हूँ, आप जरा कोर्ट्स में जाइए. वो चाहे हिंदू है, माफ करना, चाहे क्रिश्चियन है, चाहे मुसलमान है, चाहे सिख है, एवरी थर्ड फैमिली आफ्टर 6 months देयर इज अ डिवोर्स पिटीशन। आप जाके देखिए, कोर्ट्स में चले जाइए, हर थर्ड डे और 498 के केसेस आ रहे हैं, ये सारी फैमिलीज में चल रहा है, सब जगह हो रहा है। सती प्रथा मुसलमानों में तो नहीं थी, हिंदुओं में थी, उसको अबॉलिश किया, सारों ने अबॉलिश किया। राजा राम रॉय सगे भाई की विधवा को जब जिंदा उसके सामने जलाया तो सारा परिवार जलाने के पक्ष में था, सती प्रथा के पक्ष में था कि नहीं, खुशी से नंगी तलवारें लेकर घूम रहे थे, वो चिल्ला रही थी। राजा राम मोहन रॉय था अकेला आदमी अपनी कम्युनिटी से निकला जिसने कहा कि नहीं, ये सती प्रथा बंद होनी चाहिए, और अल्टीमेटली बंद हुई। क्या दूसरी जगह भी ऐसे लोग नहीं निकल सकते? राजा राम मोहन रॉय सिर्फ एक ही करने बैठा हो। We should have the guts. Let's fight against the evils. Maybe in my community, maybe in my religion, maybe in my town. महाभारत के बारे में किसी ने कहा था कि जब द्रौपदी का चीरहरण हुआ तो द्रोणाचार्य, कृपाचार्य, भीष्म पितामह सारे खामोश बैठे रहे थे, सिर्फ विदुर बोला। आज हमको सब कम्युनिटीज में विदुर की जरूरत है, जो अपने यहाँ बैठे रिफॉर्म्स में आए। आज तो मुस्लिम वुमेन का राइट जिक्र किया, अभी किसी ने सुबह, आपने तो न्यूज पढ़ी होगी कुछ दिन पहले, मैंने भी अखबार में देखी, किसी मुस्लिम कंट्री में, मे बी अरब में या कहीं और, मुस्लिम वुमन को गाड़ी ड्राइव करने की परमिशन मिली है। इट्स ए न्यूज, इज इट नॉट शॉकिंग?
सऊदी अरेबिया,
मुझे बताइए, इज इट नॉट शेमफुल फॉर द एंटायर ह्यूमैनिटी? यानी वुमेन को गाड़ी चलाने की परमिशन मिली, इट्स ए न्यूज। 96 में विज्ञान भवन में ये एमपीस आते जाते रहते हैं, मैं उसमें लोकसभा का मेंबर था, सम्मा साहब स्पीकर थे, तो एक 5-5 एमपीस, 10-10 एमपीस सब मुल्कों से आए थे, उनकी एक कॉन्फ्रेंस हुई, मैं भी इंडियन पार्लियामेंट को रिप्रेजेंट कर रहा था। तो हमारे शायद सऊदी अरेबिया के थे या किसी डेलीगेशन के साथ 5 पुरुष और 5 महिलाएं आए थे। मैं आपको अपनी आंखों देखी बता रहा हूँ, पुरुष आगे वाले बेंचों पर बैठते थे, महिलाएं पीछे बैठती थी। यू बिलीव, अगर उनमें से एक भी खड़ा होकर टॉयलेट जाता था या खड़ा होकर कहीं बात करने जाता था, all women MPs will stand up. All women MPs will stand up. And till the man leaves that block, they will keep on standing. And when they see from the gate that the man is coming, they will stand up and will not sit with him. आज भी वोट देने का राइट नहीं है, बहुत जगह नहीं है। तो मैं ये जो आपको कहना चाह रहा हूँ कि ये यूनिफॉर्म थी, कि ये हम जो गिल साहब ने सुबह बात कही, मे बी in a different form and different contextual setting. Let's move toward the unity and integrity of the country. देश बड़ा है, मैं बड़ा नहीं हूँ। नरेंद्र मोदी से आपके 50 डिफरेंसेस होंगे, और मैं इसलिए नहीं कह रहा कि मैं बीजेपी का आदमी इसलिए कह रहा हूँ, पर जो मैं स्लोगन दिया, मेरे से बड़ी पार्टी, पार्टी से बड़ी सोसाइटी, सोसाइटी से बड़ा देश, देश से बड़ा नेशन। जब तक वो हमारी अप्रोच नहीं, कब तक मैं अपने आप को जैन ही मान के एनालाइज करता रहूंगा? जो भी इशू आएगा, मैं जैन हूँ, मेरे पे क्या इफेक्ट है, मैं मुसलमान हूँ, मेरे पे क्या इफेक्ट है? आपकी आइडेंटिटी क्या वही बनाते हो? आपकी आइडेंटिटी, हम अपनी आइडेंटिटी एज इंडियन नेशन के सिटीजंस के नाते बनाना नहीं चाहेंगे। आप जरा अमेरिका में जाइए, सुबह किसी ने अमेरिका का जिक्र किया था, 20 साल पहले, 30 साल पहले जो लोग अमेरिका में गए हैं, हिंदुस्तान से जो लोग हैं, उनके घर के बाहर अमेरिका का झंडा लगा और उसके लिखा, आई एम प्राउड टू बी एन अमेरिकन। मैं घर में गया, मेरे ब्रदर बाहर हैं, डॉक्टर, 3-4 साल पहले मैं गया, मैं उनसे मिलने गया, तो मैंने उनसे पूछा, उन्होंने कहा जी हमारे यहाँ, मैं अमेरिकन सिस्टम को जस्टिफाई नहीं कर रहा हूँ, मैं उनका केस रिलेट नहीं कर रहा हूँ, उसने कहा हमारे यहाँ जो अमेरिकन सिटीजन हैं, वो किसी भी रिलीजन के हों, किसी भी उसके हों, हमारे लिए अमेरिकन सिटीजन होना इज ए मैटर ऑफ राइट। आज हम उस तरफ में जाएं, यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड उस तरफ लेकर जाएगा, कोई राइट आपका लेगा नहीं। मैंने आज तक किसी सेमिनार में किसी भी स्पीकर से ये नहीं सुना कि अगर यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड आ गया तो मुसलमान का ये राइट चला जाएगा, जो उसका पर्सनल राइट है, रिलीजियस राइट है, जाएगा तो ट्रिपल तलाक जाएगा, जाएगा तो पॉलीगैमी जाएगी, आप निकाह करें, शादी करें, फिर करें, वो आपका रहेगा। आपका राइट नहीं जा रहा, सिर्फ राइट जो आप एक्सप्लॉयटेशन कर रहे हैं वो जा रहा है। इसलिए इसको राइट कॉन्टेक्ट में समझने की आवश्यकता है। और another point which I like to say, I think after 69 years, I don't think there is any need of now going into the desirability of this clause. That will be an insult to the Constitution, to the framers of the Constitution. And I have given you all the details what was in their mind. Let's accept that. Let's move as to how to implement it. What should be the structure of the act? Rightly pointed out by 2-3 novelists, because I am totally in agreement with them. and I conveyed to the people in the concerned quarter that please let 3-4 people sit together. Let's come out with a draft. That these are the things that we want to do, and I am very confident that if that draft comes, and how I have understood it, many apprehensions will be removed of the people who are now opposing it. Rights are the rights which are recognized by the society and the nation at a particular time. Don't mix with the religion. There were landlords, राजा महाराजा होते थे, सबके टाइटल चले गए. That is also articles 18 और 19. आने के बाद सबके राइट चले गए. क्या वो कह सकते हैं कि आपने हमारा पर्सनल राइट ले लिया? लैंडलॉर्ड टेनेंट के एक्ट आए, लैंडलॉर्ड के राइट चले गए, टेनेंट के राइट आ गए. आप ये कह सकते हो? सोसाइटी जो वक्त पर रिकॉग्नाइज करती है वो राइट्स होते हैं. आज नेशन की जरूरत इस बात की है कि इस चीज को हम रिकॉग्नाइज करें, और जहां जहां राइट होता है वहां ड्यूटी भी होती है. कोई भी राइट बिना ड्यूटी के नहीं. Wherever there is a right, there is a corresponding duty also. You have to right click on to move freely on the road, but it's your duty to walk on the left side as per the law. You can't say that since I have a right to move anywhere I want to move, so I go anywhere. You have a right of fundamental right of speech. You want to speak whatever you want to say, but it is your duty to see that your speech doesn't offend the others also. You can't abuse others by misusing the Article 14 of the right to speak. So जहां हम अपना राइट, पर्सनल राइट क्लेम कर रहे हैं, मे बी ऑफ एनी रिलीजन और एनी कम्युनिटी, वहां हमको इसका भी ध्यान रखना है कि मेरा जो टोटली ड्यूटी है टुवर्ड्स द नेशन, दैट इज आल्सो स्मॉल टू सबमिशन आई मेक एंड देन आई कंक्लूड. अभी पार्लियामेंट ने नेशनल जुडिशियल अपॉइंटमेंट कमीशन एक्ट बनाया. शायद हिंदुस्तान की हिस्ट्री में जीएसटी इज द सेकंड. दैट वाज द ओनली एक्ट which was passed unanimously by the both houses of parliament. 543 MPs of the Lok Sabha, about 280 of the Rajya Sabha, unanimously, both the houses, and ratified by more than 2/3 of the states also. 5 judges of the Supreme Court struck it up, saying what? Saying it is against the basic structure of the Constitution of India. And I am telling you anything interesting. You must be knowing it. In the entire Constitution, right from A to last point Z, the word basic structure has nowhere been used. This Constitution doesn't talk of basic structure either in the preamble or in the schedule. And on this ground alone, that it violates the basic structure of the Constitution of India, Keshavan Bharati case, and ultimately, the Supreme Court's 5 judges have struck down the act passed by 800 MPs belonging to all political parties unanimously. What is the point which I am making today? The supremacy is of the Constitution. Constitution gives that power to the judges to declare any law passed by Parliament as ultra vires constitutional. And the same Constitution talks of uniform civil code. If that is the basic structure, is UCC not a part of the basic structure of the Constitution of India? Is it also not binding? Is it also not to be implemented? It is also not to be honored? And any person can stand and say whatever they want to say about this issue. This country, supremacy is neither of the executive, nor of the executive judiciary, nor of the legislature. All the three are supreme in their own field. But final power of interpretation has been given to the Constitution, and the nation has accepted that. India is the only country in the entire world, where the election of a sitting Prime Minister of India was exercised. And second, where the sitting Prime Minister of a country lost election to the House of People. Mrs. Indira Gandhi lost in 1977. No Prime Minister in the entire world has ever lost election, maybe able to form the government or may not be able to form the government. They have not lost. And second, though not relevant here, the historical points go with Mrs. Indira Gandhi, which is nowhere in the entire world. Number one, she was the only sitting Prime Minister who lost election to the Lok Sabha. And second was, she was the only Prime Minister who was shot at by her own security guards. By her own security guards. No leader in the entire world was there. But that's very unfortunate. I'm giving only you an example. So this is the power which we have given to the judiciary, legislature and executive. So the judiciary has said 3 judgments one after the other. Justice Kuldeep Singh was not a Hindu, he was a Sikh. Ranjan Gogoi from Northeast. All other judges, no judge has said that this article is ultra vires the constitution of India. No judge has said no, UCC is not desirable. Only things are, it must be done. But somebody says do it slowly. Somebody says involve people. Somebody says do it with awareness. Somebody says they castigate the government also that why you have not done. But the same judiciary which has interpreted the constitution, the basic structure, has always said please implement. Therefore, I will just conclude. It is almost over. And a lawyer, unless he stops to speak, can speak, professor also, for unlimited period. But the solution which I am making is this: time has come now. We can't delay it. We should not delay it. Let's come with a structure. The Law Commission of India, as Dr. Swan must have told you, we put a questionnaire on the website. And some thousands of people have replied back. But we also see threats. Some organization, वो कैसे आपकी हिम्मत हो गई करने की, ये तो हमारा जाति हक है, जाति हक है, और आप उसमें मुदाखलत बर्दाश्त नहीं की जाएगी. And some organization gave even the call to people boycott it. क्या boycott करें? हमने 20 क्वेश्चन पूछे. तलाक भी है, सती प्रथा भी है, अनटचेबिलिटी भी है, होना चाहिए नहीं होना चाहिए, और उस पर बाइकआउट की कॉल मेरी समझ में नहीं आती. आपकी आप एप्रिशिएट कर रहे हो तो मैं नहीं कह सकता हूँ. दिस इज द लेवल ऑफ डिबेट इन दिस country, and this is the, with all respect, the level to which people have come who are opposing the UCC. Some of them. So therefore, let's proceed further. Purely from academic point of view, I told you in the beginning, I am totally a BJP man, RSS man, right from my school days, college days, but these are the views which I have expressed on my own as an activist, as an advocate. They are not the views of the BJP and the RSS, because BJP RSS man might add something more also, may go to that extent, but let's forget that it is a religious issue. Let's forget that it is a communal issue. Let's forget that it is a question of secularism or communalism. Let's forget that it is a question of taking away the rights of any minority community or imposing any will of the majority community on the minority. Nothing of that sort. It's a mandate of the constitution. We have to follow it. 68 years and 26 days we have already spent. Now let's proceed further, and we hope Allah, Vaheguru, Paramatma, Ram, Krishna, Jesus Christ, they will give wisdom to those who are sitting in parliament. We are sitting outside the parliament, that they will proceed further to be better. Thank you very much for giving me a chance.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your concluding remarks and insights on the seminar theme by raising some important questions relevant for the Uniform Civil Code as well as for the larger context for individuals as well as for the nation. As a final line to the
Would some of you have any questions to address Advocate Satyapal Jain? Yes, this is the last chance we have.
No, I said let it be not the last, let it be the first one. Yes.
Yes.
You know, I feel that all personal laws are very intrinsically and intimately rooted and grounded in particular religious ethos. Does the expedition of CC undermine this relationship?
Sorry,
All personal laws are very intrinsically and intimately rooted and grounded in particular religious ethos, a religious experience. Does the expedition of UCC undermine this relationship?
No. See, all other personal laws like Hindu Succession Act, if it is Hindu Succession Act, it will be applicable to Hindus only. It will be dealing with the Hindu ethos. If there is a Sikh Marriage Act, now there is a Sikh Marriage Act has come. It's a personal law. It will deal only with the marriage of the Sikhs. If there is a Hindu Marriage Act, it talks of only Hindus because the very name of the act suggests it is an act dealing with the particular clause. Rather, Uniform Civil Code will take away that. It will try to come out with a new law. If it comes, I have not seen the structure as yet. It will try to come out of that and make some laws which will be applicable to all the communities, all the religions, saving their internal right, like right to marry. You have a right to marry any person you may like. By the following means, I give an example. If you are both are Hindus by the Hindu marriage, but the rights and all that. If you are a Sikh, you can go around the Gurdwara Sahib. If you are a Muslim, you can do the nikah. Any of the five for it. It will be perfectly permissible, no problem. Your apprehension will be otherwise if the UCC comes.
No, but what I mean to say is that divorce or conjugal relationship is not the same as understood in the ethos of every religion.
Maybe, no problem.
Will UCC take care of that?
Yes, yes, certainly. UCC will lay down a basic structure of the act, not of the constitution, structure of the act. For example, I give an example. You say every Indian citizen will have a right to worship the God in any manner he may like. This will be the clause. If you are a Jain, worship Jain saints. If you are a Christian, worship Jesus Christ. If you are a Muslim, worship Allah as per the rights of the Quran. So this will give a right to all of you. Fundamental right is to worship in your manner your religion permits. And if you say no, I don't want to believe in God, I don't want to go to temple, no problem. You are Indian citizen. You have a right to say that.
But the laxity with which UCC may allow a married couple to separate, let us say, I'm giving an example,
Yes.
that laxity may not be acceptable to a Catholic couple.
See, yes. I am very happy that you have put this question. Two things try to appreciate. Number one, all these things can be taken care of by dropping the law. You say the divorce will be related to the type of marriage that you have enacted. If you are married as per the Hindu rights, then you will be divorcing as per the rights as per the Hindu, that this condition must be there and that must be there. If both are Muslims, then their separation will be on the basis of the permissible areas within the Muslim law. If you are a Christian, within the area. So it will not take away your right. Your right will not be taken away. Only the deprivation of the right, only denial of the right to a person of your own community, which you take under the personal law, will be taken away. You can't have more than one wife. Who will have the objection? Islam doesn't say that you should have 4 wives. The Quran I have read and I have understood says, if no child is born of the first wife, second, if no from the second, third, fourth is the outer limit. Fourth is the outer limit, not that you have to go to 4. And I remember Mr. Vajpayee lightly said in Parliament, उसमें लोकसभा में था जब इस पे डिस्कशन हो रही थी, तो उन्होंने कहा कि 4 शादियों की लोग बात कर रहे हैं, हालांकि वो तो अनमैरिड थे, बैचलर थे। उन्होंने कहा कि मुझे मालूम है शादियां नहीं हो रही है। उन्होंने मजाक में कहा कि जो शादीशुदा है उनको मालूम है कि एक ही बीवी को रखना कितना झंझट होता है, 4 बीवियों का झंझट को हम बोल देगा। हमें लाइट साइड मजाक में उन्होंने कहा नोबडी कैन अफोर्ड। भाई साहब भूल जाइए धर्म। क्या आज आप 4 वाइफ अफोर्ड कर सकते हैं? क्या आप आज 8 बच्चे अफोर्ड कर सकते हैं? 2 बच्चे घर में जिनके हो गए हैं, रोज हम हमारे पास पब्लिक लाइन में आते हैं, वो चाहे मुसलमान है, चाहे हिंदू है, चाहे सिख है, चाहे ईसाई है, कि साहब इस बच्चे को एडमिशन कहाँ दें, इसके लिए खर्चा कहाँ से लाए, इकोनॉमिक हार्डशिप में आते हैं। और कई मुस्लिम कंट्रीज है जहाँ पर अलाउड नहीं है। हाँ मैडम मोहतरमा।
हाँ, 4 वाइफ अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते, फाइनेंशियली इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल। और इंडिया ऐसी मतलब हमारी इतनी इकोनॉमिकली साउंड कंट्री नहीं है, नहीं कर सकते, सही, और नहीं भी करना चाहिए। बट अगर कोई इंसान अफोर्ड कर पा रहा है, और कुरान में है कि इक्वली उनको एकदम जस्ट ट्रीट करो, मतलब एक थोड़ा सा भी डिफरेंस नहीं होना चाहिए उनके ट्रीटमेंट में। तो अगर कोई इंसान अगर वो रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ले पा रहा है, तो स्टेट उसमें क्यों रोक रहा है?
रोकेगी इसलिए रोकेगी क्योंकि अल्टीमेटली जो आप बच्चे पैदा करते हैं, अल्टीमेटली जो आप टोटल पॉपुलेशन करते हैं, नेशन को पॉपुलेशन कंट्रोल की तो देखकर चलिए ना। मान लो कल को मैं क्लियर इंडियन शुरू करता हूँ, सतपाल जैन, आई विल नॉट डू इट, बट आई एम टेलिंग यू, मेरा एक घर है, जितनी मर्जी बीवियां रखो, जितने मर्जी बच्चे पैदा करो, 50 साल के बाद क्या होगा मैडम? बैठने को जगह मिलेगी, खाने को रोटी मिलेगी। आज हम फूड कंट्रोल एक्ट ला रहे हैं कि आप इससे ज्यादा प्रोड्यूस अपने स्टेट में, ये गेहूं इतना करोगे, तेल इतना करोगे, इतना बाहर से लाएंगे, शुगर इतनी रिलीज करेंगे। आज आप पॉपुलेशन स्टेट वाइज बना रहे हो, इतनी स्टेट होगी, आप यहाँ जाएंगे, आप रेगुलेट करेंगे, तो आपको रेगुलेट तो करना है ना, इट्स नॉट अ जनरल राज।
ऑलरेडी कर सकते हो
क्या? No, you can elect a law. Many Muslim countries don't allow more than one wife.
But Muslim rights.
It's not a question of whether somebody likes it or not.
हाँ.
You have to keep in mind the justice part of
Yes,
it.
yes. No religion says that you can exploit the woman to any extent you want to do. It's the exploitation of the woman. To have 4 wives, 6 wives. वो महाराजा पटियाला के 300 होती थी। आज आप जाइए बठिंडा पटियाला में, आपको जूती गांठने वाला आदमी मिलेगा। महाराजा पटियाला 365 वाइफ्स थी उनकी, अभी पीछे आर्टिकल आया टेबल में। और आज आप चले जाएं, राजाओं के टेक पे चले गए, समाप्त हो गया। संगरूर में बठिंडा में कोई लड़का रिक्शा चला रहा है, उससे पूछो क्या नाम तुम्हारा? बंस सिंह, सन ऑफ महाराजा पटियाला। तू महाराजा पटियाला रिक्शा चला रहा है? बोला जी मेरी उस समय मदर उनके धर्म में रहती थी, टाइटल समाप्त हो गए, उन्होंने छोड़ दी, तो आके कोई रिक्शा चला रहा है, कोई जूतियां काट रहा है, कोई सरकार कर रहा है। अल्टीमेटली सोसाइटी में जंगल राजा पैदा नहीं कर सकते। मान लो कोई दल को कहे मैं लेफ्ट को नहीं चलूंगा, मैं तो राइट को चलूंगा, आपको क्या नुकसान है? विल यू लो हिम? मुझे बताइए ना, ये उसका राइट है, फंडामेंटल राइट है, चल रहा है जहां मर्जी चलो। कैन यू परमिट इट?
So that is a different issue.
Please analyze it from the national point of view also.
No, even keep aside that nationally defined. The question is that the central part is justice.
Yes.
Whether you consider that is just and fair or not.
Yes, yes.
Whether it's part of any religion, whether it's part of any dialogue, any rituals, de facto practice, whether you will consider
Yes.
that is fair or just on basis of that certain things should.
Totally, I agree with you.
Otherwise, it will be very problematic.
I totally agree with you. Justice should be the main concern. And I am saying not only in Muslims, it's a wrong concept. आप हिमाचल में जाइए, नॉर्थ ईस्ट में जाइए, आज हिंदुओं में भी बहुत सारी कास्ट हैं जहाँ पता ही नहीं कितनी बीवी हैं।
No, even if you just look at the Hindu law,
That will have to be stopped.
मंगलसूत्र and
Yes.
ये मैंने भैंसों को देखा आइडेंटिफाई करने के लिए कि ये भैंस किसकी है।
हाँ।
तो क्या औरतों को जो साटी दी जाती है क्या वो भैंस की तरह करी जाती है कि वो शादीशुदा है? जब इंसान पुरुष शादीशुदा है कि नहीं उसका कोई लाइसेंस नहीं दिखाई देता, वो या तो मंगलसूत्र नहीं पहनता और सेठी नहीं घूमता। तो ये सारे मुद्दे शामिल हो गए कि हम इस मुद्दे के लिए बात करें। इट्स नॉट क्वेश्चन ऑफ इट्स आल्सो क्वेश्चन ऑफ मंगलसूत्र, इट्स आल्सो कंसर्न
आपको मैं इसीलिए ऐड करूं, हिंदू वुमेन सिंदूर भी लगाती है, बिंदी भी लगाती है, मुस्लिम नहीं लगाती। यूसीसी ना उनको कंपेल करेगा जो लगा रही है कि मत लगाओ, और ना ही जो नहीं लगा रही उनको कहेगा आप लगाइए। आप लगाइए, जिसको लगाना लगाओ, नहीं लगाना ना लगाओ, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं। जी, both ladies.
Yes.
जी,
Give the floor, please.
यूसीसी को लेकर मिसकंसेप्शन बहुत ज्यादा है। ये जब क्लियर हो जाएगी तो मुझे मालूम है एटलीस्ट आई कैन नो। अब ट्रिपल तलाक के बाद इवन अमंग दी मुस्लिम आप महिलाओं को आप समझाने लगे, नहीं तो उनके जो कट्टरपंथी थे वो ऐसे भेजते रहते थे कि पता नहीं क्या हो जाएगा। नाउ दे आर अंडरस्टैंडिंग कि नहीं ये तो हमारी फेवर में। जी मैडम।
After listening to all these debates, I think the issues and the areas the UCC is wanting to take up should be put down, jotted down, and brought to the public. And I think then you
Yes.
could come to a common consensus.
I totally agree with you. Professor Prajapati also in the morning said that we must have the content, and somebody else also said in the morning. And I will convey your sentiments to wherever I can convey.
A number of people will say no to UCC if you come out. Those who are saying yes will say no because they will understand what.
Professor, I request you one thing. Please let's shed our prejudices about that. Let's analyze it objectively. The line that you have said that most of the people, I am telling you, let's not presume things. That indicates as if we have some prejudice against it from the very beginning without even understanding it. If it is yet, it will be dropped. GST, what happened? For 2 years, everybody was opposing. And ultimately, when Arun Jaitley took hours and hours to explain, all parties passed that unanimous. All the parties, land reforms in Rajasthan, when the land reforms came, Mr. Advani told us in one of our meetings, we had 12 MLAs in Rajasthan Assembly. Land Reforms Act was introduced. 10 out of 12 MLAs left Jansan. They said, no, you are supporting this. Our properties are being taken away, our land is being taken away, we will leave the party. Only 2 were left. One of them, Behrouz Shekhawat, became the Chief Minister and later the Vice President of India. All other left. Sometimes you have to pay the price. In 1984, I am now coming a little on the political side, when there was a dispute in Punjab about the extremism and Hindu Sikhs, etc. People were annoyed with us as to why you are not retaliating. We said no, retaliation will be against the national interest. If the Hindu-Sikh clash increases, if Punjab will be burnt within 2-3 days. We lost election, we just could win only 2 seats in parliament. That was 84-85. You remember that? Mrs. Gandhi's assassination, they came out with 400 seats. But later on, people realized that no, this policy of tolerance was better rather than fighting back with these Sikh extremists. Otherwise, the whole country would have been burnt. So, don't, go into the small analysis whether we will gain something or we will lose. Let's think of the nation as a whole. And I'm very happy, I'm well set with you when the draft comes. I'm very confident that we will be able to convince you also it is in the investment interest.
Second last question. You first and then.
So first of all, आपने content की बात की, okay? So once the content comes, the thing is, government passes the law, and there's this certain section of the society which doesn't even know what the law was. ठीक है, तो सबके दिमाग में यूसीसी का एक मिसकंसेप्शन यही रहेगा कि वो उसे सप्रेस करना चाहते हैं, एक रिलीजन को, एक आइडेंटिटी को. बट थिंग इज कि वो जो सेक्शन है उसका जो भी है, जितना भी है, लॉ मान लो, भगवान मान लो, सब कुछ उसका कुरान, बाइबल और गीता है. और आप यूसीसी से थोप दो ऐसे विदाउट एनी, यू नो, आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि आप थोप दोगे, बट द थिंग इज यू डोंट एक्चुअली मेक अस अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट दैट इज. सो इफ अगर आप यूसीसी लाते हैं तो आई वुड आस्क यू टू फर्स्ट मेक देम अंडरस्टैंड एंड प्रोबब्ली देन.
मैं आपसे बिल्कुल सहमत हूँ, एक काम आप करिएगा, अगर आप इसमें इन्वॉल्व होना चाहती हैं, लॉ कमीशन के वेबसाइट पे जाइए, वहाँ हमारा क्वेश्चन आएगा, गिव योर ओपिनियन. वी आर इन्वॉल्विंग पीपल इन द लॉ मेकिंग प्रोसेस. वी आर गेटिंग द ओपिनियन. यू मे बी हिंदू, मुस्लिम, सिख, क्रिश्चियन. Let people respond. Women also, men also, new generation also. Now there is a new generation. The age between 18 to 25, 26. Their thinking is entirely different. Their process is entirely different. Sitting in the family, their father may be congressman, BJP, CPM. The son or the daughter always going tell the father, "What is your party doing? I don't agree with you. This is not acceptable to us." That stage has now come. There is a no, Papa, we don't agree with you. मैं BJP का हूँ, घर में कई बार मेरा बेटा मुझे एडवोकेट 37 इयर्स एडवोकेट, वो कई बार बोलता है मेरे को, पापा ये क्या हो रहा है, क्या कर रही है आपकी पार्टी. वो टाइम हमारे टाइम में तो भी होता था. हमारे फादर ने या हमारी मदर ने जो बोल दिया वो 7 बजे बोल के हम लोग मान के चले जाते थे. लेकिन आज तो टाइम आ रहा है, आप उसमें इन्वॉल्व करिए, पार्टिसिपेट करिए. रिप्लाई टू दैट.
In the course of your speech, you said you are a product of a Christian school, and also you quoted the Bible given to your questions. Now, what is your response today? Was it looked in a different angle as a dividing or toward the user's conversion, or if today it is continued, will you justify?
No, I will justify. Even today, I will be very happy. India is a secular state. Any knowledge, any information that comes from any part of the world is always acceptable. स्वामी विवेकानंद को अमेरिका में जब पूछा गया कि आप उपनिषद और वेद के बारे में सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज क्या मानते हैं, सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज क्या मानते हैं, तो स्वामी विवेकानंद ने जवाब दिया कि मैं उपनिषद का या उसका वेद का आखिरी वाक्य सबसे महत्वपूर्ण मानता हूँ. और आखिरी वाक्य ये है कि दुनिया की नॉलेज यहाँ समाप्त नहीं हुई है. जो मैंने नॉलेज आपको दे दी है, इसको लेकर आगे बढ़िए. अर्जुन को संदेश देते हुए कृष्ण ने 48 अध्याय गीता का संदेश देने के बाद दुनिया में एक ही एग्जाम्पल है जहाँ किसी महापुरुष ने लड़ाई के मैदान में किसी धार्मिक बुक का क्रिएशन किया हो. कहीं आपको एग्जाम्पल नहीं मिल रही. सुबह शुरू किया, शाम को समाप्त किया. 48 अध्याय गीता के भगवान कृष्ण ने दी, और सारा संदेश देने के बाद अर्जुन को कहा कि अर्जुन, जो मैंने कहना था कह दिया, अब तुम्हारा निर्णय है. You take a decision what you want to do. I am not dictating you. I appreciate Christianity, and I have been saying it openly. I can say in the press also. I appreciate two things of the Christianity. Christianity has separated Christianity by service. By service. They have gone to those areas where nobody could go. North East में मैं नागालैंड, कोहिमा तक होके आया हूँ. मेघालय, त्रिपुरा, सारा नॉर्थ ईस्ट मैंने घुमा है, सारी जगह जाकर आया हूँ सर्विस के माध्यम से. Secondly, they believe in coexistence and peace. Islam, don't mind my saying so, Islam separate Islam, the religion by sword. जो सारा वो आगे विषय नहीं है, कोई मेरे से डिफर कर सकता है. बेसिकली उन्होंने फोर्स से स्प्रेड किया, क्रिश्चियनिटी में परसुएट करके. मैं क्रिश्चियन हाई स्कूल का स्टूडेंट था, मुझे मालूम है किस तरीके से हमारे क्रिश्चियन स्कूल के प्रिंसिपल, टीचर्स, मेरे फादर बीमार हो गए, हमारे घर आते थे, हमारी सेवा करते थे. यहाँ तक मुझे कोई आपत्ति नहीं है. अगर इसकी बेस में, चाहे वो हिंदू है, चाहे मुसलमान है, चाहे सिख है, चाहे वो है, अगर वो चीजें सर्विस करके उनको फोर्सिबली कन्वर्ट करना चाहे, तो मैं चारों का कंडेम करूंगा, चाहे क्रिश्चियनिटी हो चाहे मुस्लिम हो. सर्विस का हम एप्रिशिएट करते हैं. और मैं कई बार कहा करता हूँ, दुनिया में जो एक्सट्रीमिज्म आ रहा है, आतंकवाद जो आ रहा है, अब सारी दुनिया उससे प्रभावित हुई है. हम तो बहुत देर से थे. क्रिश्चियनिटी एंड इंडियन ब्रॉडली we call as Hinduism. Time is coming when both of them will have to coordinate to fight the terrorism in the world. That will be the most effective way to fight the terrorism.
Thank you, Advocate Satyapal Jain. Now that
Can I say one line?
Yes.
Can I say one line?
Yes, yes, yes.
Just one.
Yeah, one line. So basically the whole people who are talking about uniform civil code, if you just look at the minds of those people and spell out, if they spell out, most of them, because I had debated with them, as a version of patriarchal version. You don't find gender just part of it and justice is not part of that. Let me say at the end of this.
Was it with Nehru also? Was it with those who visualized the UCC? I was not even born. Johnson was not even born. BJP was not even born. So Nehru, Gandhi, Vishnu Kamal, क्या आप उन सबको भी यही कहेंगे जिन्होंने UCC conceptualize किया?
Today, in today's context. I mean,
Okay, no problem. You have a right to have that point of view.
Yeah. At the end, I must say, thanking Advocate Satyapal Jain, that religion has come under fire. Religion has come under fire. Sardar Pushpant Singh once was traveling from Delhi to Singapore. And next to him was a white lady. And she was looking up and down at him. And Sardar realized her uncomfortableness. And he told the lady that, I am a Sikh. She said, oh, get well soon. No, my religion, I am a Sikh. She said, I am a Sikh of religion also. Anyway, I think this seminar has been a great experience of Hindus, Muslims, Christians, and BJP, RSS, coming and sharing their views. I think this discussion, this dialogue has been very, very useful.